Alright, pretty special project today. So, my cousin just bought his first car. He bought an 09 Impreza that I have right in back of me here. He likes to do off-roading though, so we're going to do something a bit different today. We're actually going to change his front suspension because it's quite shot. Then, we're going to lift the ride height. We're going to put some mud flaps on it, detail his headlights, fix his front bumper, and that should be it for today, but it's the beginning of probably a much longer project. Let's go do it.
So what we did to lift the Subi, we added a 2-inch spacer on top of the strut. It's just a piece of 2-inch billet aluminum that's the same size and same shape as the top mount on the shock assembly. So we add that in between the top strut assembly and the shock tower, and that gives 2 inches more of clearance off the ground. And we actually needed to bore out the holes of the spacer in order to make it fit on the strut. And it's as simple as that. At the same time, while we were at it, we also changed the shocks, so we put KYB shocks on it. And now the car is gonna ride great. It's gonna have higher clearance, and we could fit Meteor tires on it. Don't you just hate when you bolt on brand new looking parts onto like what you see right there?
Okay, so the Alright, so the problem Alright, so now that we have a bit of peace and quiet, I'm going to explain to my cousin, and subsequently to you guys, what the consequences of what we're about to do are. It's great and all, you guys want to lift your cars, I get it, but you do have to account for certain things that are going to happen. And that's what we're going to take a look at today. So, let me give you an example. Let's say this is your suspension assembly. What we're doing right now, we're adding a spacer on top of the strut assembly, which is essentially going to push the strut down. So the effect of that is everything's going to be now working at a steeper angle instead of working straight like it was designed to. Does it mean it's going to break? Absolutely not. Does it mean it won't work? No, it'll still work, but it will wear. It'll wear faster than it would have on a regular assembly. Examples. So if we take this bushing right here, it was meant to work straight. You see that everything is evenly spaced out between both sides. But now that we've got this steeper angle, you're going to have extra stress on the exterior of that bushing. So that one's going to want to go faster. Same thing for most of the components around it. So you have your ball joint, you have your end links, so on and so forth. So once again, it's not a problem. You just have to account for it if that's the type of modification you want to go for. So in this case, what I would suggest is do your regular checkups of these components a bit sooner than you would have normally done them had they been stock. Alright, so another quick thing that we're taking care of is the headlights. It's a quick wow factor. It doesn't cost much, but it actually really helps out too, because at night you get the C from your headlamps. So there's a lot of wear and tear on the headlights right now. There's a lot of oxidization. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick refresh on it. So we're basically going to sand it down a little bit, take the impurities off, make everything smooth again. And once that's done, I'm going to do a quick polish and they should be reborn.
Raw.
Wow! So beautiful.
Alright guys, so as you know, we lifted the Subi at 2 inches, and we're going to try and fit Meteor tires on the car. Now, as you can see, there's quite a big difference. I know I'm good on height because we added 2 inches of clearance, but unfortunately, because of the style of strut he has on this car, as you can see here, I believe you call it a McPherson strut. And what happens is it's a really, really large bottom plate, and we're afraid it might not clear the tire. So this is the moment of truth.
It's gonna rub-a-dub-dub. It's so gonna rub, we're gonna see it on the tire.
We cleared.
That is so
Yay!
That is milk. full lock is gonna suck.
I don't think it's gonna run. I really don't. So it did end up rubbing.
Ha! Told you!
Yep, so what we needed to do to fix the problem is just clearance a bit in the front when he's at full lock. And in the rear, I'm just gonna have to cut a tiny bit of the inner rocker. Not a big deal, it's gonna fit.
Also known as destroying your vehicle.
I'm so stoked.
Since the fender liner was broken and the bottom of the bumper was also broken, there's pieces that are missing, so we actually fabbed the quick PVC bracket. So I'm gonna mount that to the bottom of the bumper where the broken piece is right now, so that I can reattach it at the end where it actually should go, and create that extra structure there too, so everything's not shaking around underneath his bumper. So I'm going to take the plastic welder and do a couple stitches to make sure that everything is secure. So basically how this plastic welder works, it's pretty simple. There's those two prongs that you see here. We insert whichever metal piece that I'm going to be welding into the plastic on the tip of both of those prongs. As soon as I pull the trigger, it's going to start heating them up. Once the metal gets hot, I can actually put it into the plastic, and basically the goal is to get it about halfway through the layer of plastic. You obviously don't want to go through, but you have to go deep enough so that it will properly lay itself in and create the structure and rigidity that we want. So it's a pretty simple tool, but it's actually really, really effective. The fun part is we also get metal pieces that you can use in all different shapes. So it could be a straight line, it could be a concave corner, it could be a convex one. That tool can basically do it all. Alright, so I'm standing in front of or beside of a crossover SUV, as you guys can tell. We are done part one of what we're doing to the Subi. We decided to give a 2-inch increase to the suspension, so we lifted her up. We changed the front strut assemblies, so those are brand new. And as you can tell, we've dramatically changed the size of the tire. So he wanted an aggressive look, he definitely has it. So we installed the mud flaps, we cleaned the headlights up. So that's going to be it for today. Phase one is complete, but we're definitely not done with this car. There's a lot more that we were planning to do. We're talking skid plates, probably a front bash bar that we're going to have to add. It's definitely going to need a paint correction. It's going to look gorgeous once we do that. And we'll take it from there, but this is the final product for today, guys. Hope you like it.